I grew up like outside of Barcelona in a smaller town, but yeah, I mean, I've always been like going to the city back and forth for important stuff and just chilling and all this stuff. And I mean, it's great because, like I said, it's like outside the city, but it's still close to the city. So it's not like you're in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I think Barcelona is a pretty good city for any kind of like action sports. Because, you know, BMX street is a big thing over there. Dirt jump is a really big thing over there. And then downhill and stuff is a big thing too. Like we have a lot of trails. We have Andorra is 2 hours. We have Puigcerdà, which is like another hour from home. And then we have a couple bike parks in around Barcelona as well, really good ones. And yeah, I would say it's one of the best ones for sure. Besides the mountain bike is great, I guess. I mean, I skydive, I ride motos, I surf, I skate, I hang out with my friends. You know, I think it's a really good life over there. The main reason I changed from BMX to mountain bikes, one of them is a bit stupid, but is the brakes. Because the mountain bike brakes were just so nice that I was loving it, because I was a lot into front flips, and you know, with a BMX brake it wasn't that good. So with the mountain bike I was loving it. And then second of all, it was just the airtime you have on a mountain bike, and the more stable it is just give you more time to do more type of motor tricks and all this stuff. That is what I really love. Main challenges were basically the weight of the bike, and just like the bike was bigger, so it just need to get used to moving a bigger bike in the air and stuff. And then with the downhill bike, the main thing is, you know, you have a big suspension and big suspension on the back, so the bike is slower, it rotates different, everything is a bit different, but just ride it and you get used to it and then dial it again. Well, I think the mountain bike is going a lot more into like all this enduro stuff and like XC and all this. But I also think that slowly people is realizing that what we're doing is way cooler than a lot of other stuff, and you know, we're risking a lot, and people's putting more interest into it slowly, so that's good. I would never leave mountain bikes, that's for sure. But yeah, I'm planning to do a bit more stuff on the motor, like hop into more stuff with the motor stuff and get better and better. But no, I think I'm gonna stick it with both, stick it with mountain bike, and then now and then get a couple moto shows or moto events and film and all this stuff, because it's really fun to ride. My best trip so far, well, Darkfest is one of them, because it's always a great time and insane riding. I guess Rampage is one of the best trips, because it was like a big dream for me since a long time ago. I'm always happy to go to new places and try new stuff. Well, they always, you know, after the event, during the event, we always talk about like what we like, what could be better, what could change, and what else can we do, and then, you know, they know a lot about it, they know a lot about building, so they basically do what we think is the best, and then we compare it, and we're like, oh yeah, this is cool, oh this, and we just talk everything out, and you know, it always works for everyone. Well, I don't think I consider myself a contest athlete, because it's not my type of things. But I mean, of course, it's always cool to have some extra events and sometimes enter some contests. And of course, if you win or something, it's even better. It's just a plus thing that you have on you. And yeah, I prefer just going and riding with everyone, filming, doing cool stuff, and sending it hard. Yeah, experience at Rampage was tough because it's not easy, and the amount of pressure you have in your body is massive because we're riding big jumps and big drops and cliffs, and something goes wrong is bad. But at the same time, for me, it was really fun. It's just, like I said, everyone that I know is just building lines, and I'm getting stoked for everyone riding and everyone, see what everyone's building, and yeah, I mean, super nice. When we're doing 90 feet jumps, as long as it's a bit windy, it bothers us, so we can't send it as hard as we want, or sometimes we can't even ride. So yeah, the wind is a big trouble in this thing. Riders that inspire me more. I would say Andreo, of course, because I've been looking after him since I was little, since before I started riding. And probably Aggie as well. He's one of my favorite riders for a long time in the big freeride scene, yeah. Yeah, I first entered the MOD family when I was riding BMX, like I said. It was just a contest at La Poma Bike Park at the dirt park we have at home, the local park. And Georgie, the owner of MOD, just came there to hang out with everyone because it's a really fun event and they always just come and have some nice times. And yeah, that's where I did my first double flip. I was 15 years old. And after the event, he just basically came up to me and he asked me if I wanted to join them. And I was like, yeah, of course. And then I started joining them, and then since there, I've been going with them every trip and every event. Hardest trick, the Cali roll at Audi 9s. And yeah, it was a tough trick. Never really thought I could actually land it. But after 300 tries, not one more, not one less, 300 actual tries, and a couple months of trying, it came around at Audi 9s, and yeah, I was super stoked, but it's the hardest trick by far, yeah. I never really work for something new. It's just my head goes, oh, this, and then I just try it. Sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. I just love it. I just love pushing myself. I love trying new stuff, and I love going big. So that's pretty much what motivates me. So yeah, I had a really gnarly crash when I started riding BMX. Yeah, it was. I blew out my kidney and I was in coma for a month. And yeah, the doctors weren't sure that I was gonna wake up on the coma. But once I woke up, the first thing I was thinking of is just getting back to my bike. And that's basically what I did. Just woke up, flew back home, got surgeries, rehab, and then started riding my bike again. It was only it was like 3 months without bike riding. It's not that much. But the thing is that being in the hospital for such a long time, I lost a lot of kilos. I lost over 25 kilos. So I had no muscles. My legs were as thin as my arms, and I could barely walk at the beginning. So it was hard to get all the feelings again. But after you get a little bit of muscle and you start riding again, just everything comes natural to it. To be honest, I don't really prepare myself mentally. It's just the way of thinking. It's just like I think that if something has to happen, it's gonna happen. And if it doesn't have to happen, it's just not gonna happen. So I think, I mean, of course, if there's something impossible that I'm like, no, it's not gonna work, then of course I'm not gonna go for it. But inside of what I think is possible, I just kind of send for it and see what happens. Sometimes could go wrong, sometimes could go bad, and I guess that's part of our sport too. So. I don't know. It's just the snake is an animal that creeps me a lot. It's just the way they move and everything. I just hate it. I can't even see them on TV. They freak me out. So yeah, it's the one thing that I'm super scared of. Yeah, I mean, what I like about all these sports, I guess, is the adrenaline and the feeling you get, you know, like, you know, jumping out of a plane, you're just jumping into nowhere. You're jumping in the air and you're free falling at 200 km per hour for like a minute. And there's so much stuff you can do that is just so fun. And then riding motocross is just, you know, with the moto, you're just jumping huge jumps and doing bigger extensions because the bike is stable, trying new stuff. And I don't know, I just like trying new stuff. I like riding everything and I like big airs for sure.